Just Prince Walter? Just.
No,
Let's keep that.
no, he didn't get on here.
All right, good morning. We'll call our
In person next time.
Good morning. We'll call our July 2026 meeting to order. This public meeting of the Philadelphia Board of Pensions and Retirement being conducted in person in the board's conference room, the board's offices on the 16th floor of 2 Penn Center. Pursuant to section 21-15 of the code, electronic recordings of this meeting will be made through Microsoft Teams conference technology and by an audio recording. Electronic recording will be made available to the public online on the board's website without charging internet days. Please note that you can select to such recording by attending, participating, or speaking at the meeting. But I would like to note that we note a couple of things. This is Andrea's last meeting with us. So I'd like to thank her for all the years and all the participation on the panels. I know that was greatly appreciated. Thank you. We will miss you.
We will.
And I'd also like to note that we have a new alternate designee for the Managing Director's Office, Aziza Bolton, who's participating remotely this morning. Good morning, Aziza.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having me. Very excited to be here. I see some familiar faces. How is everyone? Sorry I couldn't be there in person next time. Thank you.
Great, thank you, and glad you can hear us. Our first official order of business is a motion to adopt the rules of order that the board is used and approved for our in-person public meetings that are recorded. The purpose is to ensure a complete audio and visual recording of the meeting occurs to comply with code requirements. A motion to adopt these procedures was made and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to the roll. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza? Aziza, do we have your approval to follow the virtual procedures?
Yes, approved.
Andrea approved. Willie? And Carol. Motion carries unanimously. The second item of business is motion to approve our meeting minutes from the June 11th meeting, made and properly seconded. Hearing no discussion, I'll go to the roll. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza? And 2-minute approval.
Approved.
Approved. Willie? And Carol. Motion carries 6-0 with 1 extension noted. No, I'm sorry, 7-0 with 1 extension noted. Item 3, a motion to approve the consideration of 167 pension applications and 67 withdrawal applications was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 3? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie?
Approved.
And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries unanimously. That moves us to the cases in section 4, starting with case 4A. The motion to approve the service-connected disability benefits for Robin Bell was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4A? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie? And Carol. Motion carries 7-1. Case 4B, a motion to approve the service-connected disability benefits for Drew Ducky was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on case 4B? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Willie? Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries unanimously. Case 4C, a motion to approve the service-connected disability benefits for David Dawson was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4C?
Yes. 4C,
Recognize Willie.
just want to make a note. And Dr. Berman. Dr. Berman, he indicated that both the right and the left shoulders demonstrate weakness and decreased range of motion. He would not be able to defend himself in an altercation. Patient shifts to the shoulder. This is even after pre and post surgery occurred. The city authorized surgery on the shoulder. It was still, however, this time, not useful.
Okay. Take the comments. Any
You
other?
know, yeah, one more thing, but he kind of, here we go again where the doctor is giving you this message, because in the beginning it said it's solely due. And then you go down through 4 sentences, and then he said not solely to the same injury that he had up top. So again, once again, we talked about this before, several meetings. The doctors have to be really clear.
They does say claimant is totally permanently disabled from working as a police officer based upon pain, weakness, and decreased range of motion, reflection, and thus. Yeah, I can't be a police. Probably is.
Appreciate your comments. I know Josh and team want to make sure that they answer the questions before them correctly and to review and make decisions as board members. Is there any other discussion on case 4C? Hearing none, there was a motion to approve 4C that was made and properly seconded. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza? On 4C.
Denied.
Andre? Willie?
Approved.
Carol.
Approved.
The vote was 4-4, as chair, I'll vote to deny, so the motion for 4C fails 4-5. For D, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Thomas Fitzgerald was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4D?
Yes, and again, this is the case where one doctor who actually physically examined the member says yes, and then the person who does, the doctor who does the peer review says no. Just make note of that.
Sure, thanks. Any other discussion on D? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 6-2. Case 4E, motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for William Prince was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4E? Brian?
Approved.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie?
Approved.
Carol?
Approved.
Motion carries 7-1. Case 4F, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Thomas Salio was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4F? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Motion carries 7-1. Case 4G, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Jasmine Trapp was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4G? Brian?
Approved.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie?
Approved.
And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 7-1. Case 4H, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Ronald Drew Jr. was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4H? Brian?
Approved.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie?
Approved.
And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries unanimously. Case 4I, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Nina Green was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on the I? Brian?
Denied.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol.
Denied.
Motion fails 0-8. Case 4J, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Brett Marshall was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4J? Brian?
Denied.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie?
Denied.
Carol. Motion fails 0-8. Case 4K, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Joseph Matthews was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4K? Brian?
Approved.
Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Who's 4K? 4K, yes. Approved. Willie?
Approved.
And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 5-3. Case 4L, a motion to approve service connected disability benefits for David Morris was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on L? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 7-1. Case 4M, motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Deanna Pierce was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4M? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie?
Denied.
Carol.
Denied.
Motion fails 0-8. Case 4N, motion to approve service connected disability benefits for Ryan Carucci was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4N? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 6-2. Case 4O, motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Francis Ajuji. It was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4O? Brian? Bonnie? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol. Motion fails 0-8. Case 4P, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Adrian Walker was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on P? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol. Motion fails 0-8. And case 4Q, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for David G. Williams Jr. was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 4Q? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 6-2. Section 5, case 5A, a motion to approve the service connected death benefit regarding the deceased Patrick Whalen was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on case 5A? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol. Motion carries 7-1. Section 6, case 6A, a motion to approve the application for survivorship benefits as Commonwealth spouse. Bertie Maurice Camden was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 6A? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie? And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 6-2. Case 7A, motion to approve the appeal for pension eligibility within NY for Angela Fox was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on case 7A? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie? Carol. Motion fails 0-8. Section 8, old business, and case 8A, motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Mario Lefebvre. Charlie was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8? Brian? Bonnie? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie?
Approved.
Motion carries 7-1. Case 8B, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Maura Brown was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8B? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol.
Approved.
Motion carries 5-3. Case 8C, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Frank Kennedy was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8C? Hearing none. Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Lily? And Carol. Motion carries 7-1. Case 8D, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Joseph Folkmar was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8D? Brian? Tanya? Sheila? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea, approved. Willie? Ingram.
Approved.
Motion carries unanimously. Case 8E, a motion to approve the service-connected disability benefits for Sheila Jones was made and properly seconded. Any discussion of 8E? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Denied.
Andrea? Willie?
I'm gonna say,
And Carol?
Denied.
Motion fails 0-7 with 1 extension noted. Case 8F, a motion to approve service connected disability benefits for Michael Austin was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8F? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Approved. Willie?
approved.
Carol?
Approved.
Motion carries 7-1. Case 8G, a motion to approve service connected disability benefits for Ray Clardy Senior was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on case 8G? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie? And Carol?
Approved.
Motion carries 5-3. Case 8H, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Moses Jones was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on 8H? Brian? Tanya? Sheila? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie?
Approved.
Motion carries 5-3. 8I, a motion to approve service connected disability benefits for Michelle Queen Tyler was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on that? Brian? Tanya? Rita? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Willie?
Approved.
And Carol?
Approved.
Motion carries 5-3. And case 8J, a motion to approve the service connected disability benefits for Timothy Sapp was made and properly seconded. Any discussion on J? Brian? Tanya? Rashida? Stacy? Aziza?
Approved.
Andrea? Lily? There. Motion carries unanimously. Brings us to section 9, the pension disqualification case. So I'm asking, Law, if any questions from the board or appreciate a briefing, Alan, before we go to the motion for case 9.
Is this a two-part decision or one-part decision? No.
It's one part.
Okay.
Any other question for law? For case 9A, a motion to approve the pension disqualification recommendation regarding Georgia Malloy was made and properly seconded. Is there any further discussion on 9A? Hearing none, Brian.
Just to be clear, this is to approve. the
Approve disqualification. Tanya, approve. Rashida, approve. Stacy, approve. Aziza,
Denied.
Andrea, approve. Willie,
Approved.
and Carol.
Okay.
Motion carries 7-1.
So can I ask a question before we find?
Yes.
It's her denied to say, take it away, so you're actually.
Aziza, just to clarify, the motion is in the affirmative, so voting to approve is to approve the disqualification, voting to deny is to reject the disqualification. Just wanted to make sure that we recorded your vote correctly.
Oh,
For
great.
nine.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. So it is approved.
Thank you. So the motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Good job.
Because I'm ready to.
No.
You see some of the education.
in there. Also, you have the, other events keepers, conferences coming up. July 30th is the Experimentations Enterprise Building an AI Strategy for Public Pension Systems. I know Carol has mentioned looking into AI and the use of AI in public pension funds. And then the other is general public pension funding for the cause of various topics concerning public pension funding. That has multi sessions. So those two on the agenda here.
So can we make a motion that anybody interested in going?
Yeah, is there a second? A second. On favor? Any opposed? Abstention? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, I just say one thing, and I don't know if Tony want to say this, but so we just said Korean educational courses, and the main topic there was AI in every aspect of the word, whether it's legal, investment, HR, the school district, and it's common people. So we need to really get educated about the policies public funds are having to deal with AI. One public fund expressed how not having the policy hit them, the school district of Louisiana, was Louisiana North. Yeah, but both of the same thing. Hit them really hard. So, and they put their situation. So that's why it's like I'm clearly trying to express we need to get some policies up in place. So,
You brought that up before. So
Yeah.
thank you.
OIT is actually working on some citywide policies for the city as well.
you go.
I know one of the things that Rachi is looking at the pension payroll system. It's how AI may fit into that also. So I think you're right. Across the board. I actually heard an interview with the AFL CIO on dealing with AI technical jobs. So it's not.
And as a matter of fact, she was on one of the AFL, was on one of the panels that, yeah. Yeah.
So you already voted on the case of police officer, but just to let you know with that bill, the bill is still not law. The bill has not been signed yet by the mayor. The council is pushing some recess, so it will be something we'll have to do in the fall. So, right now,
How should you have before it?
normally if council's in session, council's in session. If it's not signed within 10 days, because council is out of session.
So when did they go back in September 17th? Okay.
And they clock it back there.
If the mayor doesn't attend, sorry. I don't know what-
So we had, Northwest person to get their benefit, we had to wait till September or
No, the board just
voted, right? I just want to make
under
sure.
the current statute.
Okay, under the current, yes.
The new statute not applicable.
Okay.
The auditor RFP, you'll hear during the investment piece, Josh talked a little bit about the audit, so I got the responses. The RFI was out there, we got some initial responses on the RFI. I don't have much to talk about it today, we're still going through it. We'll give you 6 responses to that with a wide variation of information and cost, estimated cost. So the subcommittee will be put together to explore that. I would like the subcommittee for direct deposit and the express retirement idea, maybe to convene in the fall, if that's okay. The people who express interest in being on that subcommittee will have time in the controller's office and Jack. So I'd like to send out dates maybe to commence that in the fall. That sound okay? We can start with those things in more detail. The vegetable earnings and working with vulnerability are almost finalized except for one piece with the police department concerning longevity and stress pay. It's being worked on, it's undergoing testing right now, and we think that will be finalized soon. Thank you to Prachi and her intern for doing that. And working with vulnerability to that very well. The may have heard there's a state legislature, whole bill, for uniform, retirees. We are working on that and finalizing that. That will go into production, not too distant future. And papers, again, I want to, Carol, you're getting a lot of thanks there, but I want to thank Carol. She happened to run into the head of papers at one of the conferences and reminded her that we requested to speak at the fall papers. So Karen Decklitz, she did get back to me and gave us following opportunities to speak, either during the morning on Tuesday, November 18th. I'm sorry, during the morning of Wednesday, November 19th, or any time on Tuesday, the 18th. We're talking to Carol and previous talking. I know Brian and Jackie would be the main presenters. Myself, Chris, anyone else who would like to there to answer questions. But Brian and Jackie would be the main presenters. So, is there a preference on the Tuesday, the 18th, anytime, or Wednesday, the 19th?
I like the morning, listen. They don't listen to me. Don't stress me.
As long as Josh lets me off the hearing. I know.
Whatever works for you all.
That's 19.
I think this would be a good opportunity. It's in the house fair, so we'll get more details concerning. And
So can you give us the date of the council?
yes, it's the
Oh, it is.
18th and 19th in Paris. And there are a group of interns here from Exponents. Chris will introduce them, get to the investment. It's an in-person investment. It's always good to see you. But we also have all of the pension interns who have done a lot of really good work this summer. I'd like you to all stand again, if you would. Our pension intern, please stand. We have one more intern. But we had a really good group of interns who went a lot to what we do. It's these younger folks and their savviness with technology has been a very big help for us. Their ability to analyze data, analyze that has been very, very helpful. So thank you all. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Any of them coming back to work here?
Some of them have expressed interest in that. Some of them have expressed interest in possibly coming back during the school year, which we also have available. Dedication to the extent where some of them want to see the projects through.
Okay.
Come back to the school year. So,
It's rare to see it coming.
as you know, Brian, we try to.
Yeah, no, great.
Business. Very good. Thank you all.
Thank you. Ellen, any items of note on the litigation side?
No,
Just motion to adjourn is made and properly seconded. We'll go through deferred comp, then we'll take a break before our investments.
Okay.
Yeah. No. All right, we're starting for Tom.
Okay.
Thank you, Willie. All right, our first item for Tom is approval of our June meeting minutes. Motion was made and properly seconded to approve the minutes. Hearing no discussion. Brian. Francois.
Approved.
Stacy. Aziza.
Approved.
Oh, Tanya, sorry. I'm not.
So,
No, Francois, for a little, sorry. Bill. Willie.
Approved.
And Carol
Uh,
on the minutes,
a couple. Approval of the minute.
approval of the minutes for different.
So, but I have a question, so, and I know we talked about this before, but these are the approval of the minutes that she wasn't moving forward, but you say is okay.
That's her, no,
She needs
Stacy,
to say, yes, she goes up there.
needs to abstain. I think it's her prerogative. She discussed and reviewed it. I appreciate you asking the question.
Okay, I need to go check my approval.
I have Josh over here saying it's okay, so
It is not correct. But, all right.
if I have your approval.
No, you. You need my
Your
approval.
personal vote on the minutes.
Okay,
You can abstain and protest.
yeah, I can, so I'm doing it now. No, I approve, but I had approved before I said anything, so.
Okay. So the no, the minutes, 7-0 noted abstention. That brings us to the date.
Thanks. Before Dave, just two announcements. One that I didn't want to forget, which I know we have some stuff on the investment agenda. Fran mentioned someone departing controller's office. I also wanted to acknowledge that the deputy CIO, Bernard Buckley, will be leaving the last day will be 14. He's been here just over 10 years, 10 years and a month, roughly last day. So wanted to thank him for his decade plus of city service. All the work he's done for the investment staff, the retirees, the beneficiaries. I know he wanted to, say a couple things to the board, and I didn't want to do it. So
Thanks, Chris. I just want to thank the entire board, executive director, Frank, Chris, the staff, all the trustees, the investment staff that I've worked very close with the past 10 years, our investment managers. Let me not forget the consultants. It's been a privilege to serve here. I'm very proud of my military service, and I'm very proud of my service here at the city of Philadelphia. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, and I wish everyone the best going forward. Thank you very much.
second thing, announcement related to deferred comp, and we want to just make sure the board can have any questions or concerns. Right now, the local office every day, Monday to Friday, is nationwide approach staff about changing his hours to 4:30. I think it's a benefit to the members because they see, and I notice anecdotally a drop off in the afternoon, folks coming in early in the morning. It would still be the same number of hours, also a slight, benefit in terms of schedule internally for our staff, but you definitely see. I would acknowledge that there's fewer so I don't know if it's a 30. I think it's a benefit for members. No change to the total number of hours they'll be there. No change to the solution center. No hours for folks' ability to email. And we would ask nationwide to give folks a couple weeks notice, before that's put into place and put on the website. My reaction is favorable. We didn't want to do that. We have to talk to you first, making sure there's a question.
No problem.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
They stay all day. It's not like some of those other.
It's the only conference in America.
But they do.
Tell them, Bill.
Especially after.
Tell them, Bill.
So just, I don't know what they do on the big one, that's called the fire.
And that to go through the service and all the activity report.
Good morning. Reporting out the deferred compensation plan, June ending assets. It was decreased modestly by about 1%. The ending balance was $2,536,944,760. In terms of plan participants with account balances, that includes your active, inactive, as well as your folks that are retired, 28,850, which is 58 more than the previous month in May. Participants actively contributing is 21,606. That's 36 more. So when you look at the count of participants with balances, 75% are actively contributing. New enrollments was about 162, slightly less than the month of May. When you look at the 401A plan assets, again, modest decline, slight decline, ending at $7,941,309. Participants dropped by 5, ending at 2,044. That's due to 3 separating and 2 transfer outs. Number of accounts that do not have 57, it's consistent from last report at 5. We have reached out to them several times. They have not taken action and will continue to reach out to these individuals. Parking Authority did receive 13 new enrollments, ending at 727 total participants with account balances. Housing Development Corporation, 51 participants with 1 new. Where we did see activity and engagement was in the Roth. It continues to strengthen every month. Ending balance was $167,510,169. Participant account increased by 123 from the previous month at 11,491. We saw the utilization tick up by 1%, now 40% penetration rate. Participants contributing percentage continue to rise, ending at 4,611 participants that are utilizing percentage contributions. So that's 95 more than the previous month. Call volume decreased slightly in the month of June at 3,553 phone calls handled. In terms of digital engagement, and we continue to see strong activity there with 23,662 participants having an online account with 82% penetration rate. At the end of June, if you recall, we had the virtual Future Fit Financial Fair that was going on online from the month of May to end of June. And we're happy to share with you the gamification and immersive experience that your participants utilized. There were about 2,859 unique visits. So regardless of what instrument tools that they used, it was one count, and 12,253 unique activities folks engage with. So one of the things that we saw was there were many, many multiple rooms. The most visited room was enrollment, and the second was how to save your money. So learning about financial 101, contribution increase, debt management. These were like hot topics. And then of course the most watched video was investment approach. So this was great because 68 folks actually scheduled a one-on-one conversation with the Retirement Report Resource Group as well as our local reps. Any questions?
You know, I'm big on Roth and I'm big on percentage. So the Roth utilization, 40% of total participants, but they're not all contributing still. That would include some folks that are retired and
No,
the older accounts.
the penetration was based on active.
So it's not really total participants,
Yes,
it's
it's not.
contributing participants.
Correct.
So although it's great, it's still low, 40%. We don't want to lose focus on that. We want to keep pushing. I just think that's a tremendous benefit that if people understood it would probably skyrocket that number. So we just want to keep pushing it. And then the same for the percentage base. We're just looking at contributing participants because that's the only one that's relevant to. We're down at 21%, which is low. It's great. It's an improvement. This is not a criticism in any way. We've made progress, and sometimes you make the progress and you kind of put it on autopilot. We can't do that. I think we need to continue because that, again, is a tremendous way for people to boost assets over the course of their career that if they understood it, I think that number would
Totally agree. Totally agree. And we can run campaigns around it that we've done in the past. Education on Roth, importance of it, as well as the percentage, what the benefits are. Absolutely.
That's all. It's great progress, but 21's not gonna cut it. Keep it.
Agree, absolutely, and that we can work together for. And then lastly is beneficiary campaign. Every year we run a proactive beneficiary campaign. This year we're going to do that as well. It will be launched in August. It's the same information that we do, reminding folks if they have a beneficiary to ensure that they review it. Secondly, if you do not have a beneficiary, to remind them to add a beneficiary. There are many touch points. One is via email. The other is, people get their statements when they look at their accounts as a reminder to update beneficiary. I will forward Chris all the material, but I wanted to just raise the awareness to the trustees because we need to send it now so that people take action. It will roll out for at least a month or so, and it will be launched. If you all are okay with that.
We're making sense for us to tie in with that. I mean, how do you push it out?
Email.
Making sense, is there any possible?
Actually, yeah, I mean, I think that was combined in many. Nationwide, when it's updated per and I see that.
If you don't mind, it would help. Seeing that all these panels with these folks come in, the stuff is outdated.
As much as the unions, a lot of people, as HR, as much as we push it out.
Yeah, it doesn't have it.
It's still. Yeah, we still see it. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. Yes, whatever we can do to. push that.
On that, they can't do it electronically today. I mean, it's probably working with that paper.
That's
But when you blast it out, you can wait with attach the forms to that, or is that not an
So for this one, it's email and they can go and do it online. However, with the pension, it's a separate beneficiary update. So I think that we would have to separate the two out.
Or
Yeah,
as
but
well,
Yeah.
but yes. they have to be very-
Especially with everybody that's everybody that's a pensioner, city employee, not necessarily in deferred contract. So they're not gonna get the message as soon as.
Yeah, it's just another way to keep.
Yeah, we just like to look separate. Right, right, that's, like we should.
Stacy does that, Stacy. Mark, do that here.
So I did right there, that's what I did, benefit campaign, just in regards to life insurance and then.
Right.
We can get on the city newsletter.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
Thank you so much. Matt? Service.
Good morning, everybody. Service update for June 2026. 27 group events and workshops. That includes the on-site events that Sean and Christina, retirement specialists, are doing, as well as Don's Wednesday seminars. Between those 27 events, over 1,000 total attendees, 1,028 to be specific. The webinar attendance last month was as well in June. Investing 101, paying for college, retiree health and welfare benefits, between 2 out of 3, with over 200 attendees each. Activity for monthly for the retirement specialists, 155 one-on-one consultations in addition to all the group workshops they're doing, which resulted in 103 enrollments, 6 increases in payroll contributions, and then 33 rollovers. Moving down the left side of the page, we can see Don, 94 consultations. Don remains to be one of the busiest members of the team. I think now, if you try to schedule a meeting with him, you're going to be scheduling in September because of how in demand his services are and what a great job he does. At the end of the left column, we'll see 294 attendees for new employee orientations, of which 230 of those people were not enrolled. Out of those not enrolled, we were able to enroll 100 people. Any questions, feedback?
Locations in the agenda, zero. We actually go out there.
Yeah, so in the case of fire, it could be maybe they showed up, but the unit or rig was maybe on a call, and in that case, they normally will try to rearrange a time to come back. Or it could be a case where they showed up to the house because they know we're coming in advance, and maybe once they get there, the crew that was on the shift that day, perhaps they didn't really need anything. When I found out the fire station, you can show up and they'll ask around if anybody has any questions or want to review their investments. In some cases, everybody will. In some cases, nobody does. In some cases, one person does, and then after he does, everybody else kind of says, okay, while you're here, maybe I'll sit down with you. So that's the case. That's what happens.
Other questions for Michelle?
Just from being on the 5 people that's you said manage you. Is it possible that I can get their name?
Yes.
If whatever union they put in their time, but it's got to be 3347 and not 375. Well, it could be not ready, but maybe you reach out now you and we can boost it up.
I'll be happy.
So, maybe this was important, but maybe didn't.
Excellent. Any other questions? Thank you very much. We'll take a 5-10 minute break and we'll come back after 35. Thank you.
Aziza? Hello. I'm going to mute while we're on a 10-minute break.
Okay, can I just ask a quick question? Because I was
Sure.
sent this as a Teams invite. Was that the only way to come to this here, to be a part of this, or?
Yes, because the original invite that I send out, I don't use that link. That's just for the invite. So I use a different link for the recording.
Okay, but it's an in-person meeting.
Yes.
Is it typically an in-person meeting?
It's an in-person.
Okay, so I can email you back and then you'll give me the location of where it is, and then I
Yes.
can be present.
Yes.
Yeah, because it is so
Yes.
tremendously hard to hear while
Okay.
also, yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is an in-person meeting. Okay, I'll
Okay.
send you the information.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
my best to it's.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is yours, baby.
All right, I'd like to call the investment committee to order. The first item is approval of the minutes from June 11. Motion. There a motion?
Motion,
Moved, probably second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Takes us to real estate recommendation.
Thanks, Rob. Good morning. So we have folks here this morning from LEM to present multi-family Fund 7, who is staff and Marquette are representing for the estimate totaling $50 million. But before we cover the fund, I just wanted to make a couple comments more broadly on real estate. I know it's something we spend a lot of time on. So the board, I think deliberately going back probably at least 7, 8 years has deliberately been underweight real estate, probably by about half of the target allocation. I think that's been a prudent decision. Primary underweight has been in the open-end vehicles, this closed-end opportunity. And staff at Marquette, while we review lots of real estate funds, both open and closed-ended, first time in quite a while we did a recommendation of this type. I just say that, you know, to demonstrate the careful steps we take and the conviction we have. So we're recommending, in conjunction with the consultant, a $50 million total of commitment, $25 million to the main Fund 7 and $25 million to a carry side fund. This manager, LEM, founded roughly 25 years ago. They're based and headquartered in Philadelphia. Prior to this fund, they have raised 6 real estate funds totaling approximately nearly $2 billion in investor commitments and more than $9 billion in real estate assets. Since 2011, they've acquired and renovated 115 apartment properties that represent more than 28,000 units, and they have fully realized investments in 9 properties. The board has a pre-existing relationship with LEM, having invested in Funds 3 and Funds 4, which are both fully realized. Fund 3 generated a 24.1% return. Fund 3, excuse me, Fund 4 generated 21.5%, both had 1.5. Wanted to comment on the reason for not investing in the last 2 funds. So Fund 5 was primarily a timing issue. That was right around the time staff was largely bigger and solved. And we, I would say, paused a lot of closed-end relationships for a time, both on real estate and private equity. So that for that fund, it was not a question of Fund 6, we were more concerned from a timing perspective, which I think has turned out to be a prudent decision. Fund 6 is the fund where I think they struggle the most. I don't think it's to do with anything intellect or strategy. A lot of real estate funds struggle during the time period. There's a series of rapid rate hikes by the Fed. So anyone who has debt structured on a floating basis, kind of thought LEM did take prudent steps during that period. All its new commitments, they're working through Fund 6. Chad and I have talked extensively with folks who invest in that will likely by the end of it have a small net positive return. But again, we don't think it's anything specific to their strategy or the time. As I'll talk about momentarily, I think they've clearly learned a lesson and changed a few things related to how they structure. This fund, like the prior ones, targeting internal net rate of return of 12 to 15%. We've already held the first close. It's already $18 million of general public capital committed. We're not going to use leverage at the fund level, and they'll keep portfolio leverage at or below 70%. We anticipate receiving quarterly cash distributions of approximately 4 to 6%. And for folks like ourselves, if we were to sign all the documents by mid-August, there's a management fee discount. We think that there's several attractive characteristics of the fund I talked about. The track record, the current income focus. There's enhanced governance and operating controls, the interest rate, which I mentioned, risk management, which I mentioned, it's an issue for a lot of managers. Fund 6, they've paired floating rate debt structures with interest rate caps so that if rates do rise, they're up to their negative left side exposure. It's caps. That'll also help mitigate interest rate volatility. You mentioned they're also in Philadelphia based manager that are maintaining a long-standing relationship. In terms of considerations and risks, certain high growth markets, particularly the Sun Belt, which is they're probably their largest area of focus, they do have there are elevated in certain cities levels of new multifamily construction. We think this is mitigated by the fact that LEM is largely focused on Class B development assets rather than development. Class A is generally defined as the newest construction at the top income levels or price points. Class B are generally more established properties that have the ability to rehab or value add. So we believe they're also at more affordable, attractive price points for middle. Discussing interest rate and financing risk. There is this the succession planning, so you'll see in the materials they've been going through a period of some personnel changes. They've been very thoughtful of towards the funds that they manage, the succession planning, the succession of risk. We also think that folks that have there as well as their operating partners help to mitigate that risk. And so if you look towards the end of the report, we'll cover everything is individual. Back on the bio, you can see that we would be talking about on the main fund of 1.35% management fee with a 20% 80/20 profit split, and then you'd be at a no fee, no carry flushes. So if you look at Marquette's report, you can see how that blends down to 10% carry and well under 1% management fee. But that's how we try to structure a lot of the private equity partnership, which is brought fees way down. I did note before passing over to Chad, I think it's less common in the real estate private things to get a sidecar. It's much more common to see actually have their staff and the consultant with credit card to get them to that point. And we were able to do so. So I think that assuming that we're pretty Chad probably has a couple comments, and of course before we have answer any questions.
I would just touch on the leadership transition and the structural protections in place to the person. I think it's appropriately designed to protect from any of the three departing, if there's any two, or some full suspension. So appropriately aligned there. Again, very thoughtful and done over a period of years, not just for this month, but it started for the prior fund. The supply risk in parts of the Sun Belt certainly something we spent a lot of time on. I think there's clear signs of that abating and normalizing, mitigated by doing more Class B as opposed to Class A. But I do think the signs and the trajectory is in the right direction for this strategy specifically. the last thing, we spent a lot of time on the most recent fund. Again, a lot of this driven by interest rate movements as opposed to underwriting challenges. Important that they did take a step back, slow down deployment as the rate market was definitely much more aggressive than even their conservative underwriting had. Much more factored into going forward. Obviously, is where base rates are now, but additional learnings on their underwriting to be more conservative there. So I think that that's important lesson learned through that period of time. Those early investments will probably be the longest ones, so the multiple will be lower or be slightly lower, but more about the IRR being a bit lower because it's a longer hold period there. But the underlying performance of revenue generation is actually been fairly strong, so it's more about the rates and the longer hold period as opposed to truly problematic specific investments.
Two things. And one's clarifying, if you know the answer, to make sure on the recommendation, the Marquette recommends a $25 million commitment to Fund 6 and participation in the dedicated sidecar. You're recommending $25 million for the sidecar?
Yes.
Okay,
25 or 25.
And what I understand they have more protection needs against interest rates going up. What would happen with their investing if a couple of these increases are made?
Yeah, I mean, there's still floating rate debt in there, but again, with the caps on it, I think that limits it significantly. Again, to the degree of going from 0 to the peak in the most recent rate hike cycle, that would be remarkably dramatic from current levels. So I think that's important to factor in. But it's more about the debt and interest rates as opposed to the fundamentals of the positions themselves. So I think we're pretty comfortable with that.
So some hits, but not as much as it's.
Yeah. Versus the prior fund, the most dramatic impact felt there. Potential if we do see material rate rise from here, but not to the same degree we do. Let's see.
Is it a fixed top or is it based on formula?
Fixed caps in most of their debt structures. So they're, it's floating and there's room for that to go up in terms of the costs, but the caps are at pretty healthy hard levels. Yeah.
Oh, did it say so? Anything else for you?
Talk about other investments that are too narrowly focused. I appreciate that. In this interest rate environment, which it's very clear we don't know what's coming, right? There's pressure to push down, bigger pressure probably to push up. You mentioned it that they're conservative estimates, they've learned from the mistakes, but what happens when they push up, which could happen? These rates go up, which would screw this piece of business up, right? What happens then? What, do we evaluate that and really consider that? If not, I'd like them to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would be best positioned at what level of rate rise would really impair the return expectations. But you have a good test case even with the underwriting assumptions that are low rate environment for the prior fund, and they're still projecting that to be a mid-single digit return when fully realized. So that's sort of the degree of the downside in a very dramatic rate rise environment, just to kind of level set where expectations would be. We're not expecting that or saying that would be the case, but I think they could speak to what they've been. Of course, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Usually kind of project out a little better.
Sure.
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm here with this.
I think it's a good question to ask.
That's a good question to ask.
For
I
sure.
also think, so I think two things Chad touched on. The prior fund, you're going from 0 or practically 0 to here. I mean, that would be pretty dramatic even from here. The second thing is, to Chad's point, I think is that there's a cap in place now. So if they can talk to the specifics of the cap. But if you think about it that way, that's certainly limits rates to rise. Sure, solve the return expectations. What's the error for the environment?
But the other thing would mean for activity, their investment options if rates go up, they're
Well, I think there's a couple possibilities. I mean, one, depending on the level of the debt of the folks that they're trying to acquire from, could actually net positive, right? Because you could have folks who need to sell more aggressively. when the big rates are down. So if you think in that sense, it 8% I also think that when they'll likely speak to this, is going to cause them to be even more judicious than I think they already are. Opportunities that they move forward, but I would expect to see them slow down. The pace of deployment. Things got really extreme. I think you potentially see them say, well, instead of a 3 or 4 year investment period, perhaps they come back to the advisory board and say, we'd like to extend that out 50 year, just to get us more optionality, even slower.
So in that environment, they still have open in 6 and 5 opportunities that they're going to still have to shoulder those. So are they going to fill those funds? Are they going to sell?
So Fund 5 is fully deployed. Fund 6 is, I think, 92% deployed. So in terms of new investments, fully pretty much baked at this point. What I will say is in a few positions, they've taken the opportunity to refinance the debt out, give them a longer runway, allow them to implement their strategy, the few cases where they're kind of coming up on maturity walls. So the current rate environment, they've actually taken advantage of as a positive to see rates move again. The